Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. Today I wanted to do my November wrap up. In the month of November I read 5 books and 2 novellas from the Go to the Shadow Market series, and I'm really excited to give you guys my thoughts and opinions, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So I don't own a lot of these ones because a lot of them I read via ebook and audiobook. So the first one that I read this month, well, last month, is Heretics Anonymous by Katie Henry, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. This book, oh my goodness, like, can we talk about how amazing this one is? If you've ever been to Catholic schooling, like, this is the book for you. If you're one of those more rebellious kids like what I was not happy with the way that the school was run, and I would love to have changed it. I just left, but I would have loved to have had some sort of influence and change in the school, and these characters truly exemplify what so many of us kids or teenagers want to change and influence and modernize these teachings. I loved it. It was like Katie Henry had been at school with me. It is a brilliant story. I flew through the ebook, like, oh, as soon as I saw it was on my library, I had to borrow it because it was absolutely amazing. I even ordered it in hardback, and it's on its way. It is on its way. I cannot wait to actually own it because I love it so much. And yeah, so 5 out of 5 star because it was utterly brilliant. The next book that I read in the month of November was A Very Exquisite Thing by Cassandra Clare, which is the 3rd novella in the Ghost of the Shadow Market series, and this one follows Annabelle, oh god, if it was Annabelle, Anna Lightwood, the daughter of Gabriel and Cecily, and oh my god, best novella out of all of the novellas that I've ever read by Cassandra Clare. I loved this one. The love story was brilliant. It was so well done. It was so needed for this time, and I am so happy to see characters like this in the Shadowhunter series. It's brilliant to give light to these different characters, older characters that we've had mentioned in passing and who have now finally sort of come out in the limelight. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into more of this character. I so hope we get more of her in later books because there's so many more series coming out. We've got the Last Hours, the Eldest Curses, the Wicked Powers, like, there's so many, and having characters seen in the Shadowhunter series like this, I can only imagine what's up next for the rest of Cassandra Clare. Oh, and I gave Every Exquisite Thing a 5 out of 5 star if you couldn't tell by my reaction already. The next book I read in the month of November is The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. This is the 2nd book in the Raven Boys quartet. It's still following the Raven Boys in blue, and I'm not going to give any sort of spoilers away for this book because it would like spoil the next one. So, like, well, the first one, and I haven't read the next one yet. I'm in the middle of Blue Lily Lily Blue, but this was really good. It was a good continuation from the Raven Boys. I really enjoyed learning more about Ronan and Gansey and Blue, and just getting more backstory and sort of following along this sort of plot line for looking for a lost Welsh king and the magic system, and it's very interesting. I mainly read these on audiobook, so it's a little hard sometimes to get my head around everything, but I'm still really enjoying them. They're perfect for me at the gym. So yeah, that was the next book that I read in November. Finally, one that I actually own and physically read. The next book that I read in the month of November was The Reptile Room by Lemony Snicket, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars, I believe. Yes, 4 out of 5 star. So this is the 2nd book in the series of Unfortunate Events series, saga, however we want to call it, because there's 13 books. I'm just slowly reading these before the season 3 comes out on Netflix, the next season, season 3, with the final episodes. I never read these as a kid, so I'm reading these for the first time, and I'm really enjoying them. I love the way Lemony Snicket just explains things and it is a little bit repetitive, but I'm used to it almost, like, already, with the way it goes, this word means this and this word means that, and it is a bit different. It is a little hard to sort of wrap your head around if you're not used to it, if you feel like you're too old and it's condescending and things like that. But I kind of, whenever I read sort of middle grade or younger kid books, I put I think about how I would have read it as a kid, and I seem to get more enjoyment out of it that way. It is a little bit different to the TV show, and I like that. I like seeing the differences. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I fly through these. So on to the next one pretty much for this. The next book that I read in November was Learn About Loss, which is the 4th novella in the Go to the Shadow Market series. This one I only gave, what did I give it? I only gave this one, I've got them all listed there. I only gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars. I wasn't a big fan of this one. Look, I love Brother Zachariah, I love Jem, I love Will, but not a lot really happened. I kind of have forgotten most of this one, unfortunately, which shows how much it didn't really stick. I don't know, it just, look, the prose is beautiful. Cassandra Clare writes very fluently. She knows this world and you can tell, but it just sort of fell flat. There could have been so much more that could have happened. So much more could have been sort of discussed and explored, with how much he misses Will and things like that, and how he wants Tessa and all of that stuff, but this has just sort of fell flat a little bit, unfortunately. But yeah, it's still not the worst one I read. I think one of the worst ones I read were A Couple in the Bane Chronicles. So not the worst, but definitely not one of the better ones. I actually finished one of the books that I put on my November TBR, and that was Escaping from Houdini by Kerri Maniscalco, which I gave a 4 out of 5 star. Probably leaning more like a 3.75, between 3.75 and 4.25. I'm so specific, aren't I? I am so specific. But I really enjoy the story of Audrey and Thomas, but there wasn't a lot of it in this one. Like, compared to Stalking Jack the Ripper and Escaping from Houdini, there wasn't a lot in comparison, and it just sort of fell flat a little bit. The murder was still there and decent and good and gripping, and you didn't know who the killer was. All of that's still there, and it still ends up being sort of that shock at the end of, oh, it makes sense now. But if it wasn't for the epilogue in this one, I think Hayley and Bookland said the same thing. If it wasn't for the epilogue in this, it falls so flat. The epilogue saved it, because the love story, I feel, is what's carrying the series. The last one, Capturing the Devil, comes out next year, and I will definitely be picking that up when it comes out and reading it. I need to know how Audrey and Thomas's story ends, but the Midnight Carnival just didn't do it enough for me, as much as Romania and London did. Sorry. The final book that I read in November is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. I gave it a 5 out of 5 star. I ended the month on a good note. As you can tell, I tabbed this one. I really was getting into it. I tabbed like foreshadowing, her memories, when premonitions came true, all of that sort of fun stuff. She's so unreliable, and I was even talking to like my boss at work about this book, because I was like, I can't stop thinking about what's going on. Like, I read like 100 pages before work, and then I got to work and I was like, I can't stop thinking about Mara Dyer. Oh my god, this book is incredible. I can't believe I haven't read it yet. Like, this is insane. Like, I have heard that the third one falls a bit flatter, but oh my god, like, this book is incredible. So we should probably tell you a little bit more about what it's about, shouldn't I? So this one follows the character, obviously, of Mara Dyer after she moves towns after the death of all of her friends and boyfriend, which only leaves her surviving, and she's got a bit of amnesia due to the trauma and the experiences, and it's her slowly recollecting these memories. It's very paranormal. She like envisions things to happen, and then they happen, and it's creepy and scary, and I love it. I've loved it so much. So they're all the books that I read in the month of November. I know it's a bit late for the wrap up, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you would like to follow along my reading and writing journeys, all my social media will be down below. As well, please like and subscribe to the channel and the video if you did like it and you want to see more content from me. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video, and I will see you in another one.